When it comes to scratching my back, that's a classic comment. How the fuck does Sam scratch his back? Well, mid back, I gotta use the bear method, just fucking rub up against something. But if I got something on my traps, I can kind of, reach up here and get at it. So this morning was 248.6, and that's after about 3 weeks of pretty much just eating as much as I want, 4-ish thousand calories. I got to start getting up to 5,000, actually making sure I hit it on a day-to-day basis. Because as this bulk progresses, if I have one day, let's say a month from now, where I only get in, to even 3,000 calories, I'm going to drop 2 pounds. And then I'm going to be playing catch up for the next 2 days to, fill back up with all those carbs and glycogen. So, gotta stay on top of this shit, man. Gotta freaking stay on top of this stuff. RDLs, they're tricky. RDLs are fucking tricky. It's gonna be hard for you to not just feel your lower back and your glutes. So, let's just break down my setup, my sort of technique. Feet right under the bar, touching heels and toes, and then, I don't know, man, just fucking bend over and try to pull with your hamstrings. That's really all I can say. I feel like I'm trying to pull my legs together and backwards. I almost feel like I'm trying to pull the back of my knee into my butt, if you sort of follow my logic. But if you can't feel RDLs, I don't know, throw them in every so often, just get practice. If you do it enough, you'll get the idea. If I were to kind of sum up what I'm thinking about as I'm doing these reps, I'd say there's really only 2 moments. Well, let's call it 3 aspects that I'm thinking about. For one thing, I'm thinking about not using my biceps or my forearms. That's why I got these fucking hostile padded straps on. I think if you're not using straps on back days, you are leaving a ton of contraction and isolation on the table. But it's enough of that. So I'm focusing on not using my biceps or my forearms at all. When I'm at this top stretch position, I'm trying to open up my shoulder blade. I want it to feel like my shoulder blade way in the back is fucking opening up like it's going to get ripped off. And then, solid squeeze at the bottom. Even when I get to the point where I can't actually move the weight any further, I want to just flex for an extra moment. Then get a little bit of partials in at the end, and that's it. This pump is, well, let's just take a fucking look at it. Let's just take a freaking look. So that was what? 3 sets of hard incline, no drop sets, no nothing special. Then 2 sets more of incline, much lighter, pre-exhausting with something else. Doesn't seem that game-changing of a routine to me. But it definitely gave me some kind of fucking, swelling sensation, aka the pump, as much as any other fancy chest day I've ever done. But don't let me just talk about it. Let's actually see what it looks like. There have been a lot of lifts in this fucking basement. And that is just one more under the... Dude, holy shit. Holy shit. Dude. This is... the fucking roundness all over. Top to bottom cable press. So I've seen this before in a way that kind of... I don't want to say upsets me, but perplexes me just a touch. Because you got to think, if you're doing a cable press and you're standing out here like this, then all of the force that you're putting into your fucking hands, you're also putting into your fucking feet. So it's like you're pushing up against a wall. So whenever I do flies or cable presses, unless I'm doing them here, so I don't have to worry about balancing, I always want to just bend over so that even though I'm pushing against my body, gravity is kind of keeping me in the same spot. The last thing I want to do is do a movement where I have to focus really heavily on my balance. That's why I do face pulls laying down, because otherwise I'd have to sit here and fucking, you know, be off balance like that. It just seems silly to me. So bent over cable presses, moderate weight, and I'm really trying to focus on a pretty good stretch, but especially squeezing just as hard as I freaking can. When I was doing cardio, once I was done, I just kind of loitered around the gym earlier, and this one guy was talking to me about supersets, and for whatever reason it made me kind of think, fuck, I haven't really done any kind of like drop sets or, you know, supersets for a while. You know, there was a period of time where every workout, every set was a drop set. Every set of bench, I'd get up, take a plate off, do a drop set. Every set of leg extensions, 10 reps heavy, drop it, 10 reps light. And I mean, I did get some pretty good results doing it. So in the spirit of changing it up, I think let's add some drop slash supersets. So it is just about time for my patent pending finisher for chest. I pretty much always finish with this little superset. So heavy set of flies first, you know, something where by the time you get to rep 10, you can't touch your hands anymore, and then just, you know, bust out some partials. Then I'm gonna flip around and drop the weight by like, I don't know, maybe 30-40%. And instead of doing flies like this, standing, I'll bend over and do them like this, almost more of a decline fly. I mean, I guess the basic logic on why I like it is it pretty much just always puts the finishing touches on the pump. Solid squeeze from the flies, so of course I'm gonna get pumped up. But that second set, or the second portion, here I'm focusing on just a huge stretch. Like honestly, when I get to the top, I feel like I'm not even trying to like hold the weight up. I feel like just the tension of my pecs is stopping the weight from moving upwards. But after this, man, we're done. And I didn't realize this until just now, but you know, if anybody's on a cut, ooh, I do not necessarily envy their situation, primarily due to the let's just call it the holidays that are coming. You know, I'd hate to have a fucking teeny little portion of mashed potatoes and some turkey on my plate for Thanksgiving dinner. Oof. But that's the grind, man. So if that's you, don't be a chump. Stick to your calorie deficit. There's definitely multiple ways to skin the cat of stimulating your fucking muscles, right? That's why you see buff-ass CrossFit dudes. I make this analogy every couple of days. Buff CrossFit dudes doing their full body athletic aerobic workouts. The Olympic lifter dudes, jacked and lean, super strong as well. Obviously bodybuilders, of course. Power lifters too. I mean, you can get big doing all sorts of stuff. So by that logic, the things that cross over between all those styles of training, aka, you know, intensity, going hard on your sets, as well as getting some good rest, eating your food. If you can hit those three pillars, then to an extent, I think your training can vary widely from the dude next to you, and you'll still be able to get some results.